Leah here for Clarence Media. Today I'm having a chat with Mark Rayner. Mark is running for the Legalised Cannabis Party of New South Wales in the upcoming state election for the seat of Clarence. Thank you for taking some time today to have a chat to us.
More than welcome. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Now, firstly, what inspired you to pursue a career in politics, and what are the core values that dictate your decisions?
Well, several years ago, about 14, 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. So, and I have a bit of a problem with pharmaceutical meds. I get reactions to lots of different medications. So I had to look for sort of a natural way to ameliorate the situation, I suppose. And I found cannabis. I'd been a regular user most of my life anyway. And, you know, I'd got myself through this, and I'd been given the all clear and all that sort of stuff, and I thought, well, this is pretty cool. Why doesn't everyone know about this? And the opportunity arose to play with the hemp party, and I thought, well, I suppose I could get political about this sort of stuff, and I became a member, and I ended up bringing the hemp party to South Australia, and I was their secretary for about 9 years. And then, you know, I became the vice president of the federal party, and I was in that position for 2 years. I literally just retired from there, so and I was kind of starting to travel around a bit, and the opportunity came up to run here. They needed someone here that you know, knew their stuff and was ready to stick your hand up, and I thought, well, you know, why not? Let's have a go. I've already been a representative for the hemp party in Western Australia. And, you know, my involvement in the community has been massive, to say the least. And as for what drives me is the fact that this product, this plant, this part of nature is just so phenomenal at everything. Its industrial uses are endless. As a medicine, we have it in our system. We have an natural endogenous cannabinoid system, so it's part of our DNA. As a soil remediator and an environmental product, it's next to none. It's growing in Chernobyl, and it's clearing that place up like nobody's business. So its powers of regeneration are amazing, and the benefits for us as humans eating it, using its oils as part of our natural diet, it seems a bit of a crime against nature. So I see the injustice of it all, and it leads to a lot of other injustices, you know, like because we're denied this product, we can't move forward environmentally, we can't move forward with our health. You know, they're talking about putting a new hospital here. Would we need it if people could get access to cannabis and heal themselves properly and keep themselves, you know? Would we need it if, there's a lot of talk about the environment here, would we need it if we could phytoremediate the land and make the water running off the catchment into our waterways cleaner and freer of things like microplastics and chemicals? I think it's an injustice and people should know about it, so that's what drove me into doing what I do.
And so in the past, have you been involved in sort of policies or an area where you can have an impact on
Yes.
things, and what were those?
A few years ago, before cannabis became legal for medicine, I was invited by the TGA to present evidence and et cetera, and there was a lot of backwards and forwards there, and you know, a few things, but a few of us people who, you know, not exactly work on the other side of the law because we work by nature's law, but against man's law, we were invited to do all this stuff. So, and I, being who I was at the time, I was one of those people, and we helped create that policy, yes. I've helped create policy for other states and other countries by invite, and yeah, I've made quite the impact in the field during my time doing this. Yeah.
And so how do you plan to promote economic growth and job creation in the Clarence electorate?
Or the legalisation of cannabis, and everything that it can do. Industrially, they're looking at putting copper mines here. I personally know how damaging copper mining is to the environment. I used to work on them. I got that sickened by it. I refused. I had to stop working and leave and refuse. It's probably one of the most destructive things to the environment. We all know that mining companies lie about their environmental policies and their actions around environment, remediation afterwards and all that sort of stuff. They basically get away with the bare minimum, and people suffer for decades afterwards because of it. So, and the environment, So, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here. Clarence community is a great community. I've seen they all come together. They all agree with a lot of the things that we agree with, and I feel that if by chance we do get in, we'll give them the donkey, that's a good opportunity. But it still by no means we're going to win the seat. So, but if we do, we'll definitely work with community and business and farmers and everyone to make this place live up and be work to its fullest potential. Most definitely.
Okay. And so what do you think is one of the most pressing issues facing people of the Clarence electorate?
Excuse me. Listen, from what I've gleaned from people, there's quite a few. But from what I see with my own eyes, there's health issues, there's environmental issues, and they're all just as important as each other. There was some talk last night about crime. Crime is through the roof. Synthetic drug use or abuse. So addressing that would be of prime importance, because people got to feel safe in their homes and stuff. And legalising cannabis too. People don't want to do stuff like that when they're off their phone, when they're consuming a recreational form of cannabis. They just want to sit around and want to chill. The biggest danger they are is to the flaming fridge. So really, addressing all these issues would become fairly simple if we could introduce better education around the causes of crime, or why people feel they need to do crime. Addressing, because all this stuff starts at home too, and a lot of people here are the economic crisis is really pinching people. We're paying through the roof of fuel, rent, power. That would be causing stress at home, putting that stress on their children. The children go out seeking attention, doing crime. So we really need to address that, and I feel that if we had access to cannabis, we'd have a lot calmer attitude towards it. People would, because of the amount of jobs that it would bring in. An earlier thing I went to said that there were only 600 odd jobs in agriculture in this place. This is a massive area to have only 600 jobs in agriculture. We could triple that straight up by introducing cannabis. So that would ease the financial burdens and the burdens on families, and introduce a bit more sort of, I don't know, I suppose a loving way of bringing people together.
600 vacancies in agriculture? 600 actual jobs.
This morning,
right.
I was down at another panel discussion thing, and I think it was Miss Novak. She is full of, it was actually Shay from the Clarence Catchment Alliance, stated there's only 600 and something, 648, or I can't remember the exact number. It was around
Sounds
$600.
low.
And I was gobsmacked. I was really gobsmacked. So to have that few in agriculture in a district like this, that's really, really bad. It should be 12,000. Half the population should be in on it. And cannabis and hemp is a relatively sort of hands-on industry, so it would create that many jobs. It would boost, these people that are miners, the loggers even. If we stopped logging and started growing hemp, they'd all still have jobs, all of them. So Yeah, I think really we really need to sort of work on it and get people to see the sense in it.
Yep. And how do you plan to address the issue of political polarisation and bring people from different backgrounds and viewpoints together?
Well, there's another thing that cannabis does. The range of people that consume it and the types of people that consume it and the demographic is that wide and varied. People are already together. All we need to do is get them to feel freer about it, and they'll come together on a lot of other things then.
Yep.
You know, if they feel comfortable around cannabis, which is, you know, has a high stigma around it, if we can release that stigma, it will release a lot of things for people and bring them together. We'll have a lot more cooperative sense of community.
Yep. And if people want to find out more about you, your party, the policies of your party, where can they go to find out more information? LegaliseCannabis.org. There's all the information's on the website. They have a little bio on me with the electoral site, and you know, I have a Facebook page. It's kind of crazy and full on at the moment, but yeah, they can just look up my name and. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's
And
just under your name. It's just Mark Rayner, or
just Mark Rayner, yeah. I also did a really good interview with the ABC in 2017. And it's called Cannabis Oil Producer Speaks Out. So if you just Google that, you'll understand a bit more about what I've done in the past. I'm actually the only person to have made cannabis oil on commercial television. Yep. And gotten away with it, I suppose you call it. But that's one of my claims to fame. So if you want to go there, see who I am and see where I'm at on this, that was one of the best interviews I've ever done in my life. And the guys were great, and they were patient, and we, you know, and we got a lot out, and it was the most interesting day, to say the least. But it'll be informative for anyone that watches it.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish up?
Vote 1, legalise cannabis, New South Wales. Yeah, the amount of things that we can talk about around cannabis, I could sit here for a fortnight and still not have everything said. So I really, you know, for me to start something that
we don't even have a fortnight.
That's right. So we don't even have a fortnight. But I'm sure if you want to have one, I'm going to have a bit of a day off tomorrow because I actually have cancer now. So I was diagnosed a year and a half ago. I'm kind of feeling a little flat. So tomorrow I'm not going to be at the polling place. I'm going to have tomorrow and Sunday off. But from Monday onwards, I'll be at the polling place at the cathedral all week, and probably on election day too. People want to come down and have a talk with me. I am more than willing to talk with them as long as they're, you know, willing to listen and not abusive. I'll sit there and we can yarn. So I'm happy to do that for anyone. And one of the big things about us is we like to remain in touch with the people who. With the public, you know, it was a big thing when we first got started that we remain available to the people. So we're always willing to listen to people. We might not know everything about the area, we might not know everything about everything, but we will know if we listen to the people. And if we listen to the people and the people want to speak to us and we make it comfortable for them to speak to us, I'm sure they'll see that they'll come across eventually, and they'll see that we are really serious about making changes. The political landscape is just abhorrent at the moment. It's rife with all sorts of horrible things, and we need to change that massively. So, and I think people power is the only way to go, and if we listen to the people, we can truly be the voice for the people. So, and I'm not asking you to vote for me because I'm not here for me, I'm here for cannabis. And if you truly believe in the powers that cannabis can bring to a community, well, put my name down, number one.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much.
And good luck on the 25th.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.